Yeah, so got a little sidetracked. There was someone came by on the bike path I had to move. So just gonna continue is getting into it. Yeah, the more toxins we put in our body, the more that we make our body hospitable for those parasites, the more they're gonna love that environment. They're gonna feed off that, right? But the more that we start to change our environment to make it not hospitable for them, then all of a sudden we become cleaner and we can start to clear ourselves out, right? On an energetic level and on a spiritual level. After seeing pictures of these things, I do believe that they could be interdimensional beings, fully parasitical in nature, harvesting our energy. And there's a reason. I mean, they wouldn't be there if we weren't consuming certain things. But that being said, our bodies function way better when we get rid of them. So starting to get rid of them, starting to treat ourselves right, and then the other big thing that I want to talk about that's just heavily on my mind is starting to take control. We need to take control of our whole life. We've given over so much power to these institutions that really don't have the best interest for humanity or for us as individuals. So what we need to start doing is taking the power back into our own hands, becoming our own doctors, right? Becoming our own bankers, becoming our own financial advisors, becoming our own teachers, or like learning from other sources rather than just what they're giving us. And when we start to do that, there's a lot more information readily available and things are coming out that it's changing the way that people think and the level of consciousness. And as that continues to rise, one of the biggest things that has kept us enslaved as humanity, has kept us back so much, is the financial system. We look at that, okay? People don't understand finances, so they have to go trade so much of their time for a depreciating asset. They're literally printing out of thin air. I'm trading my time and my money, or my energy, the only two things that matter in this world, for a depreciating asset. And most people aren't protecting themselves by buying real shit, by buying real assets. So, what's happening right now is when they start to print more money into circulation and you're just spending it, then you're becoming more indebted every time. So what we need to start doing, and it's up to us, no matter where you are financially, it's up to us to start making those decisions to start investing our money. It's not about saving at this point. If you're saving, you're losing. You're losing. Over the last 2 years, if you saved money, you lost 20%. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? If you invested, you probably made money, depending on how you invested, but you probably made some money, right? So when we start to use our money to work for us, we can think of them as little workers, and we're employing them by giving them a job, which is to provide me with more money, more freedom later in life. Because if you equate money for a time, which is what most people are doing, is trading their time for money, it's a trade-off, an equation. So if I have more money, then therefore I have more time, I have more freedom. So how do I create more money? How do I create more freedom? And if you're trading your time for money, which most people are, then you have to learn how to start trading your money for assets that build you money, that grow your wealth. Because if you're not doing that, then ultimately, even if you're saving, they're going to wipe out the middle class because the inflation is so high right now. You need to start to fucking invest, right? And no one's going to do this for you. No one's going to teach it to you. No one's going to you have to do the work, right? The information is out there. There's tons of information. There's never been more people that have become free financially because of the use case of the internet and different avenues or different ways of building wealth. But it's up to you to put in the work to build that so that you can develop that wealth for yourself later, so that you have more freedom and more time to do the things that you want to do. Even though I'm trading my time right now for money, I've been trading my money for assets that I believe very soon are going to enable me to be as free as I want to be, right? And so that is ultimately the main goal, as well as to help people to learn. I love to teach. I love to learn. And we're all here to learn and to teach. So if I can help share some of the information that I've gathered along the way that has helped me improve my life, improve my health, improve my finances, improve my spirituality and my where I am mentally and my emotion, and then I would like to help other people, right? And that is ultimately what my goal is. So I'm putting away the fear, which I've learned to do pretty well from riding mountains every day. But I'm put away the fear of other people's judgment of me and my expression, and learning to be authentic in myself and speak my truth. Because right now we need truth, and we need people that are being authentic, and we need people that are being organic and fucking whole and living holistic lifestyles, right? And not just looking for a cheap fix that's gonna fix all the problems, because that's not how reality works. It's not how our life works. It's a compilation of my daily decisions, of my daily routine, of my daily habit, my practice, my discipline, right? So if I'm not disciplined in my life, then ultimately you could project that to being, you're not going to get very far in life, right? Because you need discipline to develop the skills in order to, if you want to grow a business, if you want to influence people, if you want to learn how to speak, if you want to learn how to physically perform a skill or do something, a task, right? Then you need to put in time and effort and energy. And we all have the same amount of time every day. Everyone's gifted that same amount of time, but how we utilize that time is completely different. And that's what puts a lot of people ahead of other people, is the utilization of time, right? If we're only given 24 hours a day and I spend 8 hours of my day entertaining myself with not good education, no educational content, and I'm not learning, I'm not expanding my conscious, then was that a useful, productive way of use of the day? No. But there's so much content out there, it's easy to do that. You could easily binge watch a show on Netflix and forget about all the worries of the world and everything that you have to do that day. Or you could use this to create content, or you could use it to study and get a degree, or to learn a skill, or to build a business, to grow your wealth. It's all a tool. It's all how you use it, right? And depending on how you're using your time, where you're focused on, what you're spending your energy towards, where the direction that ultimately you're pointing your sailboat in is where you're going to head. And so I'm heading to a point of wealth, to a point of freedom, to a point of health and free expression and authenticity and love. And I would love to share that with other people and to help other people get onto a similar path, right? Because if you're not steering your own boat, then you're just going to go at the flow of the current, and the way that the current is going is the way that the way that the government is kind of trying to, ring people in, if you would. And if you go that way, then you're going to be controlled. Govern means to control. Mind is the mind. So you're letting them control your mind. That's everything, right? Our mind is everything comes from a place of mentalism first. If I couldn't think it, I couldn't do it. If I couldn't think it, it couldn't come into existing. So when we start to realize how powerful our thoughts are and how powerful our emotions are, and we start to focus on what we want instead of outcomes we don't want, we start to do the things that's hard work. It's hard work. How do you build muscle? How do you learn how to play a guitar? How do you learn how to snowboard or ride a mountain bike? One step at a time, baby steps. You got to get on there, you got to practice, you got to fall down, you got to get up, you got to do it again till you master it, till you get better at it, right? And it's the same thing with anything in life. So get on it. No one's gonna give you a silver spoon, right? Well, maybe. I don't know your life circumstances. You might be blessed with that. But even if they're given that, what they've proven is if your family builds generational wealth, within 2 generations usually it's lost, because they don't teach the principles of how to maintain wealth and what that means. And there's two levels to that. And I talked about this before, the metaphysical side. I am free, I'm wealthy, I'm abundant, and feeling that, knowing that in your body, that you're worthy. And then there's also the physical side of, actually investing and doing things. But yeah, that's what I got for today. Appreciate you listening.